up, BachPod Squad? It has been a while. Nobody really cared about our BachPod in Paradise, so we kind of shut that down pretty quick. But hey, new season of The Bachelorette, a second round of The Bachelorette is back in action, and so are we. And I will take this time to let you know we are not brought to you by Shallow Fly Salted Caramel Stout. Wow, that's hard. Salted caramel is a hard thing to say. All right, let's get into, we're going to talk about episode 1 and episode 2 in this recap. So let's dive into the first episode where we meet all the guys. Let's hear your first impressions.
Yeah, I mean, the first episode is just kind of more funny with how they, say hey to Michelle for the first time, their introductions. I don't think there was really too much drama, if I remember correctly, in night 1.
Oh, really?
Who was the drama?
Dude, Mr. Ryan.
What do you do?
Oh my God, this was episode 1. And I also wanted to state, I wasn't ready for you to not know this happened, but I want to state that I feel like every time I see a fucking Ryan on a reality TV show, always
that guy. Okay,
always dipshits. I don't know what it is about Ryans, but they're really giving us Ryans bad name. But yeah, dude, he walked in with like a notepad or a bunch of notes and like all this shit that he had done research on, like about how to get more screen time and win the Bachelorette and how to make Michelle interested. Like, you know what I'm talking about now, right?
Yeah, now, dude, that guy's actually a pretty good looking guy though, too. Like, so
great looking guy, great looking Ryan.
Great looking Ryan. But yes, I do remember that. That had to kind of jog my memory. Dude, he did have some notes, and he was flustered as fuck when they actually started like questioning him. And yeah, that was weird. But I mean, you do that like before. You don't take that with you. Like, you could do research, but don't take that with you.
Why would you take it? Dude, the weirdest thing is that Tayshia and Caitlin were going around to like all the guys' rooms before they even like did the night 1 meet and greet. And they found those notes in his room, and he had to have known. He stepped out of the room when they found it, but he had to have known they were going to find that. But he still showed up night 1 gung-ho, like nothing was wrong. Like, he had no part of his mind thought this is really gonna fuck me. Like, yeah, what are you doing, dude?
The thing is, he was actually killing it. Like Michelle, like they went to like ice cream, and they like did all this stuff that like Michelle wanted to do, and then they told her, and she was like, "Oh, that's probably why." But he was killing the game until they told Michelle about it, and then Michelle, read a couple things and. I'm glad she took him home though, or like kicked him out, because that's some crazy stuff that he tried to pull.
Dude, the craziest, like the part that I love the most is him standing there while she's reading it and like still justifying. He stood in the pocket as long as he possibly could, still trying to justify this as she's reading all this stuff. And then as she's walking him out, he's like, "So is there any way I can make this up to you?" Or like what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
I think his like main excuse was like his friend's girlfriend wrote like half of it, but no, I don't think that flew with Michelle. But yeah, that was crazy. I did forget about that. That's crazy. I forgot about that. But going back to the introductions, do you remember any like memorable introductions that you liked?
I was gonna say the most memorable one was probably that ice cream truck that he brought in. But yeah, I mean, he was obviously a dingleberry,
right?
And then maybe the guy that brought the whole fucking fire truck in. That was pretty cool. TJ.
Yeah, the guy before him did like a toy fire truck, and then he came with a real fire truck. And Michelle was like, "Oh, that guy's probably feeling bad right now." But I did like the one that I liked was Clayton's when he brought the ruler or the yardstick, and then Michelle spanked him.
That guy does not look like the dude off the Umbrella Academy.
Oh, the big guy.
Dude, that's him. Bro. That's gotta be him.
Oh my God, he actually does. I'm looking at a picture of him right now.
Literally not only looks like him, but is almost built like him too. He's just like super tall and like super buff. Like, that's gotta be the same guy.
Dude, that I did not notice that. And I actually just asked Cassidy when like the next season of Umbrella Academy is going to come out, but that's a different story. But this kind of transitions to our who do you think is the hottest guy? And I actually would pick Clayton this year. I think he's a pretty good looking guy. There's not that many. I don't think there's that many good looking guys this season. Like I'm looking through the list, and it's just like none of them are like eye popping. I'm
looking at the lineup right now, and I mean, you can't tell me like I know he's like he came in with the like already a little bit of history, but Joe, I mean that guy's a dime. Come on, that's a handsome man right there. Come on.
I mean, he's a good. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, I'm just saying there's nothing like I don't know. I think Clayton's the best looking. I mean, there's a lot of like good looking, but there's not like somebody that's like over the top better looking than everybody else.
No, we definitely do not have. I feel like some other seasons we've had that standout that was like like levels ahead, like when Thomas was on the last Katie season, like man. But yeah, I don't know. I just think I definitely was gonna put my vote in as Joe for best looking dude on here.
Yeah, I mean he's a good looking guy. I mean, there's still like good looking guys like Nate's pretty good. Like he's tall, like what? He's like 6'6", 6'7", and he's like a good like tall guy. Like he's pretty good looking.
That Martin dude's pretty stout. Like I think he's like a personal trainer. He's a pretty good looking dude.
Martin. Oh yeah, Martin. Yeah, Cassidy always says she doesn't like the hair with the blonde hair and the brown or black beard. She don't like that. She kept telling me that. But dude, there's one guy that was just like, what's that guy? His name was like LT or something like that.
That's the dude that showed up without pants.
Yes, that guy was probably the worst looking guy.
He's a
weird looking guy.
I can't figure out why he's still around. Like, I feel like I have not seen them interact once. And also his intro was super weird. Like I don't think there was a joke about it or anything. He just showed up like with no pants, and he's been kind of strange since then. And like I said, they haven't really talked. I don't understand how he's made it this far. Like,
dude, like I think he tried to do the guy who showed up naked in Bachelor in Paradise. He tried to like do that, but like Bachelorette said, like, no, you can't do that on this show. I think that's like honestly, I would bet a lot of money he asked to come naked.
You know what, man? You got to wear the suit jacket, but whatever you do with the bottoms, I guess that's up to
you. But yeah, I mean, I thought PJ was a good-looking guy too. The guy who actually came in the fire truck, but he actually just got sent home, which I was pretty shocked at. He was actually playing cornhole with Michelle in episode 2 too. So I was like, that's my guy. Man. But he got sent home.
He did seem like a chill dude. He did. But
he did.
It's too bad that he went home. But yeah, we can kind of move on from there and go to our favorite segment of every season, the way too early faves. I am excited to hear who your choice is. I actually had a few names written down. I know you said you had a couple, but I think I know who I'm going to take as my early fave.
All right. So should I just say my early fave, or should I say the couple guys that I like?
You can give us a little rundown and then you got to stamp the final. You got to stamp the final.
So I'm gonna do the runner. I'll just give you two. I'll do the runner up, and then I'll do the guy that I'm gonna stamp. Right. So the runner up, you already mentioned him, was Joe. I like Joe. He's a baller. He's really good. He is actually Mr. Minnesota in 2011. I know Michelle said that. And I looked up his stats. He actually went to the University of Minnesota. He played like 2 years there, maybe 3 years there, and then transferred to some smaller school his senior year because of a coaching change. He wasn't that good in college, but I looked up his high school stats. He was really good. So I do like Joe. I know there's a little drama with him. It was funny with like the drama with him towards the end of episode 2. And all you see is just him sitting there, just like dead face, no reaction, just like
one of those, like, I knew this was going to fucking happen, man.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, he's a cool guy. I do hope he goes pretty far. But the guy that I really liked, super chill, he just has like a chill vibe with him. I really like him. It's going to be Brandon J.
Oh, I like Brandon.
Was that yours?
That's not mine, but I like Brandon.
Okay. Cool. I like Brandon J. He was really chill, like when you first met him in season 2, episode 2. He had the group date, but then got like a little one-on-one with Michelle, and he was like saying some goofy stuff that I see myself, I guess, just being goofy and like, so he has that goofy side and he just seems chill. So I'm going to stamp Brandon J as my early fave.
Dude, all right. I like it. All right, so I'll go into my first. I actually have the same runner-up as you, which was Joe. I think Joe seems like a super chill dude, but too easy to pick as a way too early fave. I think he's like that's too safe. I don't like that. So he's gonna be my runner-up, but I'm rooting for Joe. If he went, I will not be mad. But my guy, table guy Rick. The guy that showed up in the table, dude, that guy, I mean, he sat in that table for like a solid few hours before he finally got the one-on-one time with Michelle. And that's when I was like, all right, he's out the table. They're actually gonna have a real conversation. Where's it gonna go? And you know what, man? He kind of killed it. And then we'll get into it next for the next episode recap, but he also kills it in his next interaction with her. Smooth dude. I think he's chill. He's obviously got a goofy side too, because he showed up in a dinner table with the plate thing. Like, I mean, just a great execution there. But I'm stamping Mr. Rick as my way too early fave.
I think I like Rick. I mean, like you said, his second thing with Michelle was really smooth, but he seems like he's a little too obsessed. I don't know if that's like a thing, but he like, because when they were doing the drama at the end, I don't know, he just seems like he's like just way too obsessed right now at this point, because you've only met her for like 2 days, and I know you're supposed to like fight for her, like her, get all this time with her, but he just seemed like, I don't know, he just seemed obsessed to me. That's just my, I mean, I like him, he's a cool guy, but
maybe he was just very confident and comfortable in those situations that he was just, being all of himself. All right. He's putting all his eggs in this basket, as probably any guy on this show should, right?
Yeah. I mean, we'll see how it happens. But another guy that I kind of like, but it was really funny in episode 1, was the guy who showed up in the apple costume. And she said, "What kind of apple are you?" And then he said the only green apple that there is. He said Granny Smith. And then the second episode, they did the taste test, and he got it all wrong. That guy's funny. He's a funny guy. I like that. I think his name is Rodney. He's a funny guy. That is
Rodney. Yeah, I like him too. He seems like really funny. I don't think he's gonna win, but I think he's definitely a cool guy.
But they had a lot more chemistry. They went pretty deep with the talking, and then they made out. I was pretty surprised they went that far.
Yeah, I do like Rodney. He's definitely in there, but I don't think he's gonna win. I like him though. Just let it be known that this podcast is a fan of Rodney. Right. All right. So from there, that's kind of, episode 1, you're pretty much just meeting everybody, and that's kind of that. So we can kind of start talking about episode 2 now. We get into our first group date, our first one-on-one. And this kind of where some drama already starts, which is great. I love that we're in episode 2 and we're already off to a hot start on the drama. So what'd you think about the first group date? We'll start there.
So this is the teacher one, like the teaching one with the kids.
They went to school. Yep.
Yeah, dude. You knew this was kind of going to happen on one of the dates where she'd, be the teacher and then have kids come. So it was kind of cool to see with all these guys. A lot of people aren't that smart that they have this year.
Bad at math. Really bad
at math. But the guy, what's his name? Romeo? That guy went to Harvard and is like a mathematician. So he was killing it. But I did like when Will did the narcissist on Peter.
Oh, dude.
That was funny.
That was savage, bro. I loved that.
Because Peter, he was kind of acting a little weird. What do you think about Peter?
Dude, he was definitely being a douche. He kept whispering her name and shit. And he was terrible at all of the questions. And it just seemed like he was being very vocal about it. I don't know. He definitely made it seem like he wanted all the attention on him and that it was all about him, which screams narcissist, right? Yeah. So, I thought that was pretty fucking funny when Will did that.
Yeah, I thought that was hilarious. I know Peter didn't like it. This is for my way too early fave. My guy couldn't spell protein, so that was a little weird. But he tailored it into a very good conversation with her afterwards. Kind of went on a rant about doing everything for her and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it was a cool group date. Like I said, it kind of knew this was going to come, but nothing really happened except for the Peter and Will. And that actually boiled over to the dinner, not the dinner, the cocktail place. And actually they were like yelling while Michelle, I forgot who Michelle was talking to, but like you could hear them yelling. And
I think he was talking to Malik.
No, Malik was on the second date.
Oh, then it was
Malik.
Maybe it was Olu.
Maybe it was Olu. Maybe it was, but
I think it was.
the person I really liked out of all that commotion, I think it was Nate. So I think Nate was the one who said, like, I'm not going to put any energy towards that. Like, I'm here for one thing. It's going to be Michelle. I'm not even going to give that any attention. And that's exactly what you need to do in these types of shows.
Yeah, Nate seems really chill so far, like from the first couple episodes we've seen. But yeah, I like that too, that he was just kind of like, I don't know why we're even thinking about this. Like, I'm here for one thing and one thing only, and I'm going to keep my focus on that. Right. I mean, that just seems like exactly how you'd want to be in that situation.
Then, you know, another funny thing is, after everything happened, Peter was like, oh, I had the best relationship with her as of now, or like before this all happened, and now like I'm lagging behind. Like, so like he actually thought he was doing really well with Michelle, and he had like nothing to think of. Like, I don't know why he thought that. It was so weird because he had no connection with her other than her yelling at him to like cool down.
Dude, I don't know why she gave him a rose. I really don't. Like, I feel like she's the type of person that is really trying to see the best in everybody and understand why they act certain ways that they do and be understanding about that. But like, this guy seems like a real cock. Like, that seems very apparent. And maybe it's just because like we see everything and maybe she doesn't. But this guy seems like a huge doucher.
Yep. And yeah, I agree. Like, I don't know what he was doing. I think Will was just being funny, but I also think that he was like, this guy's kind of annoying. So he wanted to do that. But I don't really know much about Will yet, but he seems like kind of a cool guy so far.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't like the way that they were like arguing about that situation. The way, like, it almost seemed like they both were just really hungry for some attention, because there was no reason for that to turn into them like yelling over the entire situation, like to the point where she could hear it across the field while she's talking to somebody else. Like, that just seemed ridiculous to me.
Right. Yeah. That's a good point. But this is also where you can talk about a little bit of your early faves for second interaction with Michelle, if you want to go into detail with that one.
Yeah, man. I mean, he was on that. He was at that was the cocktail party after the first group date.
Yep.
Yeah. And he had like the notepad with all like the fill in the blank answers, and he got to the bottom and got himself a kiss. Dude, it was dope. It looked like Michelle really liked that. Like I said, he seemed super comfortable, like while he's around her. And I haven't disliked anything that he said so far. I think Rick's a pretty chill dude. And like I said, he's got that sense of humor side. He showed up inside of a table. I mean, you got to give the guy some props for that. He's table guy Rick, and he's going all the way. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and also my early fave had, like I kind of already mentioned, his not one-on-one, but his one-on-one time in the cocktail hour, and he was smooth. He got a kiss too. I think he got a longer kiss than Rick, but we won't go into that.
Okay.
But yeah, that was pretty much
the rose. Your guy got the group date rose.
And I was about to say that. Yeah, he got the first group date rose. Michelle had a better connection with him than anybody so far, at least in that date. But then we move into the solo date, and the solo date was with Jamie. And Jamie, what do you think about Jamie? Like, just as a whole, everything we know about Jamie, like even with the ending of this episode, like what do you think about him?
Well, I wrote down that Jamie a snake. That's all I wrote down about Jamie. It just says Jamie a snake. That's what I think about him. I actually, after that one-on-one, I was like, dude, this guy is it. Like, he's so cool. He's so chill. He's so down to earth. Like, he'd been through a lot, and he just seemed like I was like, this is it. No brainer. She might end the show right now and walk away with this guy. And then all the stuff happened with the Joe drama and Jamie a snake. That's it. What do you think about Jamie?
Yeah, like she was tearing up with the story, which everyone probably was, because that's a very sad story on what he's been through, and I feel really bad for that. But yeah, the fact that he got tangled into he wasn't even in the Joe mess, because it was like it was that Martin guy and another guy, I forgot who it was, but those two were like the ones kind of bothered by it, and they kept going back and forth. And then Jamie came into that group, and he was like, "Oh, you're like, what are you guys talking about?" And then they explained it, and then Jamie was like, "Oh yeah, I'm bothered by that." And then he goes to a story that Michelle's booed up by a light-skinned basketball player, saw from a bar. I was like, "What is this guy doing?" He is like ruining his chances. And then he goes and tells Michelle, and then she gets upset. The funniest part is maybe not the funniest part of the whole episode, because there's some funny parts, but is when the guys was like, "Oh, who the heck told Michelle?" Like, this is after Michelle told the guys, like, "Oh, I'm upset. I need to take a minute." He's like, "Oh, who's the bitch that did this? Who's the snake in the thing?" And he's just looking like just like looking around, like, oh crap. Shit. And then when they go break off in groups, I think there's like 2 or 3 guys that actually talk to him about it, and all he's doing is like, yeah, I don't know who did it.
That's crazy, man. Dude, it was Nate. Nate was one of the guys they were at like the bar, like drinking, and he said something out, and he was like, "Yeah, man, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about." And he was like, "Yup."
He's like, "I can toast to that."
Dude, that is so snaky, bro. Like, that is deep levels of fucked up. Like, this guy, like you said, there were 3 of them out of the 25 guys that are left in this house talking about this. And then he goes to Michelle and he's like, "So all the guys," you wouldn't believe it. I can't believe it either. All the guys are talking about you and Joe. I mean, everyone, no one can talk about anything else but you and Joe. What's the scoop here? Like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, that was definitely a drama. Like, I don't know. I mean, that's just a lot of drama, and it's going to ensue in the next episode. I know we're kind of skipping the second group date right now, but yeah, that's going to ensue the drama in the next episode. So people are going to, I mean, he's going to get called out. Like, somebody's they're going to know Jamie did it sooner or later. So I really want to know how he explains that and how the guys react to that. So it's going to be interesting.
Dude, there's no way when he gets caught in this, there's no way out. Like, in my mind, he's going home. Whatever episode it is that they find out it was him, that's the episode he's gonna go home. Like, there's no way that he can explain his way out of that.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it. He kind of just dug himself in a hole. And the first reaction to Jamie was like, "Oh, this guy's a cool guy, and he's gonna go far because he's got, he's a cool guy." But I don't think he goes far. I think I don't want to say next episode. I think they keep him around for at least a couple more episodes. But yeah, he's not going to go too far.
No, I don't think so either. He shouldn't. I mean, I mean, you always got, I feel like, every season of this, you always got one of those guys. It's Jamie, and usually it takes a little bit longer for that guy to make himself known, the snaky shit. But man, he just came out swinging immediately. He had that story ready that his friend told him about Michelle at the bar with a guy that looked like Joe. All right. I mean, there's no way in my mind that I'm thinking that he didn't come in here with this plan off the jump.
Yeah, there's no way. He had to have that plan. But we can talk about a little bit about the second group date, because I really actually like this second group date. They played basketball. They played 1-on-1. They played a game of 5-on-5. And I mean, it was a cool date. This is the date I would have wanted to go on. But Joe just he shined in this moment. And like I said, he was Mr. Minnesota in 2011. I think Michelle was runner-up for the same year. So that's just such a cool story. It's funny that he ghosted her. Well, not really funny to him, because now he's trying to compete with 30 guys. But when he could have just had her 3 months ago. But Joe got a call that his coach died. So it was cool to see him, kind of channel that energy to the basketball court. And dude, that guy was draining. He was killing the game.
He was hooping, bro.
He was straight up hooping. He got picked. So then they played 5-on-5, and he had the worst team. So it was Joe and the 4 guys who probably couldn't hold the basketball versus 5 all right guys. And dude, just seeing some shots that Joe's teammates, like Pardeep, that dude's jumper was like the worst jumper I've ever seen in my life. And I think he airballed. It was
Oh, dude, that was fucking airmail straight to Canada, bro.
I know what's that guy's name? Not the other white guy. I think his name is Chris, the guy from Canada. Chris S. His jumper was bad.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
he tried like a 3 and it just like clanked off the backboard. The only other good guy that was all right on his team was Malik. I actually kind of like Malik. I don't know much about Malik, but he looks like a cool guy.
Yeah, he seems pretty cool.
He's 36. Holy crap, he's pretty old.
Dude, that's actually what I thought about Jamie. Like when Jamie first came in, I was like, oh man, this guy looks mature. He looks like he's, seen some shit and just looked like a guy that was going to be super chill. But nope, Jamie a snake.
Who do you think's the oldest guy if you just name one guy without looking?
Without looking?
Well, I don't know if their ages are there.
No, they're not.
Okay,
I'm just looking at the guys. I'm going to say that it's probably LT.
Yeah, he's 38.
Oh, dude.
He's the oldest guy.
Like that guy. I do not like that guy.
I do not either. But so then after the basketball game,
LT, sorry.
After the basketball game, the winners got the cocktail hour. The losers had to go home. Joe got the MVP, so he got to go to the cocktail hour. I think he spent like damn near all the time with Michelle.
Dude, they were hanging out for a minute. They played basketball again.
They played horse, and I think Michelle won. Like she won in one-on-one. But yeah, they like all the whole time, at least 50% of at least the airtime that had that day, I think was Joe and Michelle.
Yeah, I think so too. I think there was even a clip where they cut to some of the other guys and like, man, they've been, back there for a while, and I think they were definitely feeling it throughout that group session. But yeah, I think Joe Steal the Show Joe was on fire that whole day, man. Like on the court, off the court, that guy could not miss. All right.
Yeah, he was killing it. Dude, oh man. I kind of want Joe to win just because of the story, but I don't think he does. I hope he does, though.
I think he's going to go far. We obviously both have him as our second favorite options. But again, like I said, it's too safe to pick that as a way too early fave. We can't do that. But yeah, man, I mean, Joe's off to a great start. Jamie off to a rocky start. I think I imagine that's probably going to come to a head sooner than later, but I haven't watched any recaps or the flash forwards, so I don't exactly know what's going to happen, but I am definitely excited to see how things move forward.
Yeah, it's gonna. I watched the look ahead to next week. Should be interesting. Gonna be a fun one. I don't know all the guys who got taken home or sent home last episode, but I know the 2 firefighters got sent home. So PJ, which I really liked, and he left. I forgot the other firefighter's name, but that guy left too. I don't know who the other guys were though.
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend to know all the names of the guys that have been sent home so far, but episodes moving forward. He what?
Pardeep left.
Oh yeah, Pardeep left. Yeah. I think that as soon as she saw his jump shot, she was like, "This is not the guy." But yeah, I'm not going to pretend to know all the names of the guys that went home right now. It's way too early. We're still kind of trying to feel everybody out. And once we start to get down to a few more, like cut off a few more guys, then we can start talking about who's gone home. But yeah, I think that kind of does it. You got any closing thoughts for first 2 eps, or looking forward to episode number 3?
Yeah, I'm trying to compare to Katie's season because we just had Katie's season. I feel like Michelle has more, I don't want to say sophisticated, but I feel like Katie's guys were a lot more outgoing and more funny so far. But I feel like that was tailored to Katie, and now this is kind of more tailored to how Michelle is. So I kind of like that. But nothing else like goes to my mind when it's like I'm trying to compare those two yet. So we'll see. We'll see. I like to compare both of them just because they're going right back to back. So it'll be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah.
The same.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely don't think we have as many jokesters on this year, which is a bummer as always. But you know what? We might get a little bit more drama. We were off to a slow start with Katie's season. There wasn't a whole lot going on, but I think with this one we're gonna see a little bit more drama. These guys already seem like they're some of these guys are a little cocky.
Yeah.
So I am definitely looking forward to that. And obviously, we've already got the Jamie thing that's an open book of a story ready to just pop open at any time. So we've got that to look forward to. But yeah, I'm glad we kicked the season off, and I'm excited to see how we move forward.
Yep, sounds good. I'm excited too.
All right, so with that, we will close this out and wrap this up. This has been the first recap of the BachPod season whatever. Season 3? No, season 2 of BachPod.
Oh,
Which is a BachPod subsidiary, of course. Our 3 fans know that. But yeah, this is season 3 of the BachPod as a whole, though. If we don't count the Bachelor in Paradise snafu, that was kind of a disaster. But anyway, with that, we will close this out, and we will catch you guys next week.
peace.
Peace.